Now, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to day 3 of the Muslimah Wordsmith Writer Conference. Since I've been doing this, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Hafsa bint Nourain. I'm the host, and I welcome you back to the third and final day of the conference. We are inching closer to the end. After this, we only have 2 talks left. So I hope you'll stick with us until the end, inshallah. Now, our speaker now is Sister Bilikis Mafe Fagbemi, and I'm going to go on and read you her bio before I pass the baton on to her. Now, Bilikis Mafe Fagbemi, also known as bilimaffy, is a wife, a stay-home mom. She's a trained educator, communicator, and she's currently a honors graduate student of gender studies with the University of South Africa. She's a passionate writer, an aspiring author, and a striving Muslimah with a keen interest in personal growth and development. Her ultimate goal is to contribute positively wherever and whenever she can. MashaAllah. Sister Bilikis, welcome. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Finally, I'm here.
Finally. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khairan for honoring our invites.
I'm honored to be here. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you for having me.
Alhamdulillah. So she's going to be talking to us about why we need Muslimah writers. The topic is really intriguing. It's something we really need right now. So I'm just going to give her the mic. Take it away, Sister Bilkis.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalatu wa salam ala musharrafil mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrali sadri wa yanzuri li hamri wa ulul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. I am happy to be here finally. Wonderful work so far. The previous speakers have made my work so easier because they've spoken about so many things. And even for me, I think by now, if I don't want to consider publishing a book, the challenge has come. So I want to share the slide. Sister Afso, okay? Yeah, okay. I think I'm good to go.
Okay, I don't see the slides.
Here. Yeah, it's. Can you see?
No.
This is my screen. Can you, even now?
No, I can't see it even now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Now, yes. It's up now.
It's up now. MashaAllah. So I would like to start by just simply reminding us that this is a Muslimah's writing conference. So, and we know a Muslimah is somebody who bears the identity and values of a Muslim. the character, the attitude, when they see you, you'll be identified as a Muslimah. That's who a Muslimah is. I really want us to narrow it down to that, because we can't write outside the scope of what is non-Islamic. So, and a writer, you can write anything. A writer is somebody who writes maybe scripts, books, anything. And then taking it up further is an author. An author writes, they take it up as a career, and at that level, it's more professional. It has a professional ring to it. When you see somebody is an author.
Sister Bilkis,
Now,
we are not seeing the slides per se. We are seeing your screen, but not the slides themselves.
can you see?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, but am I still going? Can you see me then? Can you see me on the
Yes,
screen? You can
yes,
see me. Oh,
yes.
mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. Okay, so I've just given you a brief introduction to who a Muslimah is, a female servant of Allah, bearing the banner of Islam, through her identity, character, beliefs, and value system. And then a writer, someone who expresses ideas or who is engaged in books, stories, using words to relate stories, articles, and stuff like that. And I said an author, takes it a step further. This is when the person writes, maybe publishes a novel, poetry, essay, composes a literary work, and so the professional ring to it is that person, take it more seriously. When you become an author, you are thinking of it as a career. So there's a slight difference there. Now, why people write? Why do people write generally? Why do people write? People write for different reasons. People write to express themselves, to change an opinion in the society, to understand concepts, to gain meaning into, whatever topic they are interested in. And we now coming into that picture as a Muslimah, we are now being identified as Muslim. So we are breaking it down to just being a writer to being a Muslim writer, a Muslimah writer, a female now this time around. So, and for me personally, my writing journey, let me just say that I know usually you will hear people say that writers are born. I say that writers can also be trained. I picked up writing at an early age, and it was just merely journaling. you know, I just picked up, and I was way back in primary school then. It's nobody around me. I never saw anyone write. I never did. I just picked up writing. It didn't matter whether I was using he for she, whatever incorrect English. But I started writing, and over the years, it's become part of me. But now, when it got to a stage where I also decided that, oh, okay, this is something I'm passionate about. I didn't have a direction. There was no direction. There was nobody, to tell me or to motivate me and push me further to say that, come, this you've been writing for some time. What is it you even write about? What is it? What is your interest? On the contrary, I was told that I was a talkative and that I should consider law as a profession. The usual mantra. As if just talking is what earns you a law degree. In any case, so I realized that whenever I find myself in a setting, I will end up either being a secretary. Like at my madrasa, they pick me as a secretary. I'll be the one taking notes. And then eventually, when I got to senior secondary school, I was doing above average, performing above average in English and the literature. Still, I never considered, I wasn't even thinking that there was anything that I could do around writing, that could be a profession in the future. If you had asked me, I would still be telling you that I would like to be a lawyer. You know, that was the thinking. And then I still kept writing. I kept on writing. And but before it dawned on me that I could pick writing and move from being a hobby to something that I could actually settle down with, I had already taken different decisions. I was in teachers training college, studied Islamic studies and political science, and even then, I still ended up being around MSS, and then I was part of the committee meetings for, I think it was our writing group or something like that. Just things like that I was doing in beats that still didn't nudge me in the right direction. And it kept on going like that. So before I now realized that, okay, all these things I've been writing, I could pile them up and have a compilation that I could actually say, this is my work. Before that could happen, I had finished college, I'd gotten married, started having kids, and then social media happened. Thankfully, anyway, because I think that if not uh, for the exposure, the awareness that everybody now has, that even when the internet was there, I don't think many of us were exploring or were taking cognizance of what we were missing and what we lacked then. It's now we are just realizing it. I'm saying we are now in a state of awareness. Initially we didn't understand that there was something missing, something that was supposed to take care of us as Muslim. We didn't realize it. I mean, take for instance, in schools, especially Nigerian schools, you would read literature, and then it could be any author. As a matter of fact, we had foreign authors. We are not even talking about Nigerians. We had foreign authors. It had nothing to do about religion. It kept on going like that. And then after that, except you are buying or reading Islamic literature, and then that was the closest we had to touching a material, feeling like, oh, there's a representation of Muslim out there. We didn't realize it. So now the reason why we need Muslimah writers in our midst now is because we need writers to tell our story, our untold stories. We have twisted ideologies, misconceptions, misconstrued ideas out there. A lot of people are saying so many things. Everything is just twisted. The most common of this, I would say, is the the thinking that Islam, subdues women. Now take that for instance. That is something that's forever been there. When people want to talk, they say that if Muslims don't liberate their women, they don't allow their women to work, probably because you are putting on the hijab. When you're even in a cup, it's a different story entirely. Imagine this conference was organized by a sister of ours in Niqab. How wonderful is that? I mean, 5, 10 years back, who would have thought? I don't think we've even had anything of this. For me, this is first of its kind. The ones I've seen so far that I've also partook in were organized by the sisters in the UK, I believe. So we never had that representation. They looked down on us, and the least we could do was either to walk away, because you don't want to get into a back and forth conversation with somebody who doesn't even understand why you are doing what you're doing. You are the one who understands. They don't understand. How do you get into a discussion with someone like that? They're already biased. We didn't have that representation. Nobody is telling it differently. We only sit in our own midst, and we attend ustras, and they give us lectures at the alakos and all this. That's where they discuss. So it's still like, we are just around ourselves. It's like we're still going around the circle. We tell ourselves that this is why we are covered. This is the reason we are following Allah's injunction. That is the reason we are covered. But nobody is saying, no, the Quran doesn't say that women are subjugated, that they are denied of their rights, that they can't work, that they can't earn a living, that they are not allowed to go to school. We are not putting it out there. So the narrative out there is is something that has not been working in our favor for so long. So we need to correct that. Our untold stories, it's there. And then we need to change misconceptions. A lot of misconceptions, like I just said now, that because sometimes when we have our sisters in hijab or niqab, if they choose to be a stay-home mom, it becomes a problem. Ironically, you will find somebody who is a non-Muslim, and then you find them choosing the same thing. But because we have this identity that once somebody sees you, they know you are a Muslim, and they already have this their mindset that this is what Islam does to their women, and that is why you are covered. You cannot do anything. You just have to keep on, like they see you like a baby making machine, and there's nothing more to you than that. So we need to correct that. We need to debunk the stereotypes. It's still a stereotype. Like everything Islam, the woman is, like there's no benefit to you. That all you need to do is just get married and keep on having babies. And it's what is so strange about this is you attend schools with these same people, at least in our tertiary institutions. They see you there. They see you. As a matter of fact, our brothers and sisters would even be, at the top of their game. They are like the set of students that you see they are the top in class, yet they still do not see you or recognize you as somebody who is an individual, irrespective of your religious identity. And if you want to take it, to other societal issues, like some people will just come up with maybe a group of people will come up and say they have a non-governmental organization or something like that. They come together and they do things. But we do that also. Islamically, we do that. We do it within ourselves. We can hold seminars, we hold conferences. It's just like they look at us like we are these people from, you know, the old ages, and we are not civilized. A lot of things are happening in societies that sometimes we need representation that we don't have representation for. And if we don't start holding our own true identity, speaking up, using our voices against the things that we do not, we don't comply by in the society, nobody is ever going to do that for us. Whatever we want to do, the focus as a Muslimah must be that, okay, once they see me, they know I'm a Muslim. So if I want to write a book now, I'm not going to use profanities. I'm not going to paint obscene images in my book. So those are the things that we can do, because out there, if you want to know how much we are missing, like the last speaker, no, the previous speaker before, Sister Bashirot, she mentioned children's book. I also experienced that personally. When I decided to buy my children books, this particular year, I came home and I went to Yaba. I went I went to Yaba because I know there were a number of bookshops back then. I don't think there's any of such now. I don't think so. I walked all the way from Yaba to Ojuelegba, I mean in Lagos, looking for books. At the end of the day, I saw storybooks and they were colorful. I bought them. I was thinking that, but wait, come to think of it, how come no one, no Muslim is writing any children's book? I thought of it because I actually saw a book that was written by a Nigerian. The man, I think, was from maybe Edo or Delta State. And I bought a couple of those books. They were storybooks, of course, of low quality, because I think a copy then was 100 naira or thereabouts. But still, can you imagine piling up books? I bought about 5, 6 books, and I was thinking that first, no Nigerian representation there. Most of the books were from foreign authors. And secondly, the one I saw was by a non-Muslim. And so I thought to myself, you see, these are the things that you don't notice until there's a need for it. Perhaps if I didn't have kids, I would not think that this is a vacuum that's been created. you know, because in high school we all thought, oh no, this is school. We didn't once you are taking Islamic studies, the rest is like we never thought of it. We never thought of it. The people who were writing our school textbooks, so many of them, they were not Muslims, but they were there. And it didn't imply that we didn't have Muslims who were equally brilliant. It's just that the vacuum was created. So we need to debunk stereotypes. We need to, echo our own voices, let our voices be heard. We need to be recognized as a human race. We are part of the people on this planet. So we need our own representation. In all that is good, we need our own representation. We need to write, own our voices, our own story. We need to tell it. You get the drift. Now, uh okay. So now we're talking. I decided to just give a list of some of the writers that we already have. Amongst us, our sisters, we have Sumaya Sadiko Jibara. She published a book, Time Travel in My Words. We have Sister Bashira Abdul Wahab, who was there earlier. She From Pain to Purpose, Dispossessed, and then Sister Aisha Adams, Rise, Irrespective, and our very own Sister Afsa bin Rain, To Her is Human. We have Sister Salma Adetitu Lawal, Fortified. She spoke to us about that, and then I did something interesting. Who knows Zainab Alkali? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not seeing the chat, so I can I don't I Zainab Alkali was in Northern. Oh, pardon me, she's still alive. I think she's in
I
her
know
late.
her.
Thank you.
I
I
know Zainab Alkali.
Mashallah. Thank you. I decided to include her because the name stuck with me. We read the Seaborn when I was in junior secondary two. I think that was 1992. Yeah, 1992. And then the name stuck in my head, and my interest then was because she was a northerner. You can imagine that for me not to have read any novel from the southern part of Nigeria, and then seeing this book that we had to read as a literature text, I was intrigued. So, and it stuck with me since then. And I had to check on her profile recently when I was trying to see maybe some names will come up. I mean, in this digital age, you would expect that you'll find a lot of information online. At least people use social media. Unfortunately, I didn't find any, but I found her profile, and she's still very much alive. May Allah preserve her in her. So you see that book then that we reread, it didn't occur to me then that, oh, okay, this is just one person who is a Muslim, but I remember the name, that okay, somebody from the north actually wrote a book. I don't think we have any of such writers today. Aisha Lemu, may Allah forgive her and grant her Jannat Firdaus. She passed away, she's gone. And she also wrote a book which I unfortunately couldn't remember the title. I remember I stumbled on the book at my cousin's place, and I was surprised when I saw the name. But it was an Islamic book, I think for primary schools. They used it for Islamic religious knowledge. Mashallah, it was the content was okay, and it was good. The standard for that time. So these for me are the only two people I know so far. I'm talking, this is my limited knowledge. I could be wrong, but I'm saying, uh, while I was home, because I've been away for a while now. I don't know what text they're reading in schools, but I don't know if any Muslim's name, a female Muslim, I don't know if anyone has thought of walking in their footsteps, doing something like Zainab Al-Khali did, and the same thing for Aisha Limu. So I want to also throw it back, you know, to you that we all have work to do. We should research because we know the international authors. We know them. We know Sister Noima Bill Roberts. We know her very well from my sister's lips. We know her. Sister from Yasmin from United States of America. Her book is Reclaim Your Heart, I believe. Yeah, Reclaim Your Heart. And there's this other author, Fatima Barakatu. She wrote Khadija. Rodella Hania. She wrote Khadija. And there was one other one, Love in a Headscarf by one other Fatima. I think she's also a British, a British, so Muslimah. So, we know that these people are out there. As a matter of fact, I decided to do a little research for this presentation, and the names that kept coming up were from the Middle East. And then some of them who are already Americans, maybe American citizens now, but they're originally from the Middle East. And then I know they kept coming. I kept looking at the names, and I'm thinking, where do we fit in all of this? I didn't see any name pop up from Africa to begin with. I didn't see any. So we have work to do. We have work to do. And then I said, first things first, you need to purify your intention. Niyatul Mori, Minamoli, or in normally Amol bin Niyat will be judged according to our intention. So when you want to embark on this journey as a writer, remind yourself why you're doing it. You're doing this for the sake of Allah. Fisabilillah. You have to purify your intentions because out there, it's a jungle out there, as they say. The content that we see, they are not something that we can say we would be proud to identify with. Not everything, it's that crude or in, to use that language. Yeah. But then we know that the reason we are having this vacuum is because we don't have the content that we can usually relate to. I know people write sci-fi, non-fiction, and all that we read, but wouldn't it be nice if we had somebody also telling our own stories or just non-fiction stories, that is also appealing, that can just be acceptable to us as Muslims, because we usually go outside our comfort zone. We take whatever is out there. So if we start thinking of those things that we want to correct, then inshallah, Allah will make it easy. So we need to purify our intentions. Then before you start, you need to know yourself. I'm an advocate of self-discovery because I know what it cost me. Just I told you I didn't have a direction. I'm telling you, if I had somebody mentor me or somebody that told me that, oh, you know what, this matches your personality. This is who you are. This is what you'll be best at doing. Why not do this? I didn't have that. I didn't have direction. If someone had told me that the way you write as a hobby, perhaps if you went for a class, a lesson, get trained, perhaps you could take it up and make it a career. Anything that got close to that was just communications, media studies, journalism, broadcasting. That was what I used to think. That if I end up being in the, you know, in the media industry. Those are the things I could do. I was still limiting myself. I didn't think that I could take it up seriously. And even so, more so that no matter what I was doing, I could still write. So find yourself. You can easily go online, just type in personality tests. I did that. It helped me a lot. Personality test, just understand yourself. Understand what makes you tick. What is it that you are passionate about? Know yourself, understand yourself. You understand your strengths and your weaknesses. Take that test. It helps. Now, narrow it down to start from where you are, your own space. I made an example that when I wanted to buy books for my children, I didn't find exactly what I was looking for. So that is like me starting from myself. So you think of what you've been concerned about. What is it that you've been so worried about that you really wanted to change, or no, that you felt like it wasn't right? Because there's before you start thinking of a solution, there's usually a need. So that need is what you should begin with. Look around you, your community, the human as a whole. What is it? What vacuum have you seen that that after you've matched your personality, it could be maybe you're somebody who is very witty. Please, for our sisters who are witty and funny, you can do skits. Yeah, do alert skits, without profanities and all these obscenities that we see all over the place. Please, we need more of that. We need it. We need to spice things up. Do something fun for people. Islam isn't a rigid religion. They make us look like we don't have fun. We have fun, but we have a lot of fun. So we need more people to consider writing. You know, just we need somebody to people to come in and fill that void for us. So, you could think of making skits. Who knows? They may even turn it into children cartoons and stuff like that. So look around you, look for that void, and then, think of filling it once you have matched your personality and your capability, and you see that you can do it. Now, get a clear vision on what you want to change, like I've just explained now. How it affects us as Muslimah, as a human, your community. Fill that void. Fill that void. Once you know yourself, once you know what you're passionate about, that is your own voice. Then you run with it. Find a mentor, find a coach. I mentioned earlier, things would have been different if there was someone telling me what to do, where to go, and how to go about it. You can't walk the journey alone. You can't. No matter how brilliant or outspoken or how well your English is, how polished you speak English, it's not enough. Learning is for life. So that's why I says that we should search for knowledge, even as far as China. So and we learn till the grave. This just keeps reminding us that you can't say I'm too old to do this. No, 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 no. There's always time. As long as you are mentally capable, Allah is keeping you alive. Especially with writing. Writing is a profession that anybody could pick up. You don't have to be born with it. So as a beginner, you need to have someone to mentor you. If all these social media apps, you see many of our sisters, they are out there. Follow them, learn from them, interact with them. I bet some of these services may not come for free, but I'm very certain that there are so many resources out there. If you go to them, that they could tell you, they will point you in the right direction of what to look out for. And then create the time. Create the time. Time waits for no one. It waits for no one. We always say there's no time. I'm guilty too. Full disclosure, I'm guilty of that. But we make time for what is important to us. Whatever we prioritize, we make time for. So please create the time to write. If you are a morning person, perhaps after Fajri, you can just quickly squeeze in 30 minutes, whatever time, before you start your activities for the day. Just look at the time that suits you most. For me, I'm neither here nor there. I can't say I'm a night owl or a morning person. I'm both. Whatever I want to do, I can stay up late if it's really important. Because for instance, I'm studying now. And there are times that most of the time I'm unable to study during the day because of the distractions. So I make the time. So you need to just look for what works for you. The best time. And writing is usually done when there's less chaos, like you don't need too many background noises. Even if you want something, a sound, if you want something to be playing in the background, I'm sure it's not going to be kids chattering away or the TV being on or some loud music playing by your next house neighbor and stuff like that. So you really need to find a space that works for you and find the time that works best for you. Now, to the apps, download the apps. Google Play Store has tons of them. If you don't even know what to type in, I mean, they say Google is our friend. I say Bing Google. I say Bing Google. Bing Google, Bing. That's the search engine that comes with Edge, Microsoft Edge. So I call them together and say Bing Google. So if you are not using Bing, use Google. Type in. Make use of it. Maximize your access to the internet. I gave you a few examples there. Writer P, Notepad, Color Note, Countable Pad by color, Notepad, stuff like that. So get app. And okay, let me quickly chip in here. If writing, because especially for us as women, our hands are forever busy. We are either carrying something or dropping something. So for that, I was thinking that perhaps we could do something like an audio. you know, I'm one of those people who don't like to listen to myself speak, so I confess. If you don't like to listen to yourself speak, just forget about that. Get over it, please. Use the audio. If you have a voice recorder on your phone, and it so happens that you are busy in the kitchen with the kids, with anything else that's not allowing you to use your hands, please try to use the audio. Just if the idea comes to you, just quickly click, quickly record it. And then later, when you have the time, you cannot put them down. You put it down maybe in your journal, notebook, or on the apps that you've downloaded on your phone. So please consider that as an option. Now, this is new. This is new. I was thinking that because of the fear of speaking English proficiently, a lot of people are not moving. They can't even move an inch. And I totally understand. I know the if you're not a native speaker of English language, the only reason we are at advantage is because Nigeria is an Anglophone country. It's not the same story for some other people, who do not speak English as their official language. And even at that, for people like us, for someone like me, if where I was brought up was going to be a consideration, I shouldn't even be able to speak English at all. I should I shouldn't even be able to speak English because some of us are more privileged than others. Those boti and cream de la cream kids who go to private schools or maybe in their homes, their parents are the academic people and they speak English, polished English. You would think they schooled in Britain. So that happens. So I was thinking that what if we have someone who who cannot proficiently use English language to write? Please, can we please spread the words and say that? Write in whatever language you are most comfortable with and then find a translator so that we don't keep having this setback. Find someone who can translate for you. There are tons of books out there that's been written in one language and translated into hundreds of languages. Sister Noima Roberts' book, is it The Gift? The one she published recently. I think she just released it. It's a children's book. I'm sorry, I can't recall the name now. And some of our book were actually translated into other languages. That happens. So if it so happens that the language that I'm most comfortable with, it may not be you. Perhaps you walk into someone someday and they will tell you the reason they're not writing is because they lack the confidence to write in English. Perhaps you could just tell them that, you know what, that's what translators are for. And then there's ghostwriting, there's ghostwriting. Please enlighten them. I was just thinking that, what could also be, we've been told to get over our fear, which includes not being confident enough to use English language. And that is, understandably so. It's not our first language. So that came to mind, that if it's not English, it could be any other language and translated into English. So now to publishing. Today, we asked Sister Bashira Abdul Wahab speak to us about publishing and all that. I say bring it home. Bring it home. I was thinking that if we want to expand and have an inclusive, system of maybe from publishing, from writing to publishing and everything around it, do we even have Muslim publishers? I don't know. If you have a book that you've written, I know we are these days we are going to e-publishing, the Kindle and Amazon. I know that. But if you are going to publish your hard copies, can I please appeal to you to find out first if it's possible to get a reliable and dependable, tried and trusted Muslim publisher? If you can find one, please patronize them. We need to start bringing this home. Let us make use of what is available to us. And even if we don't have, maybe it will give somebody the idea to start doing that. So it makes things a lot easier for our people to relate with a fellow Muslim. Now, yeah, okay. This is, I said, do not be dissuaded by the reach or mileage. Sometimes you publish your book and then you are expecting this large sales and it's not happening. We are Muslim, and Alhamdulillah, we place our hope in Allah. you know we know as believers we must accept that if it's not working yet, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. If you're expecting to sell 10,000 copies and so far there's only been 500 copies sold, it could be discouraging, but be rest assured that because you purified your intention, remember what I said in the beginning, as a Muslim you will not be dissuaded from continuing, you go further. And even if you've written a book that didn't do so well as expected, it shouldn't stop you from writing another book. If you have an idea to fill the need we spoke of earlier, don't be dissuaded. You have to keep going. You have to keep going because at the end of the day, it's not just about self-fulfillment. Remember I mentioned that it's not just about fulfilling your desire. So we do it feasibly, like you can get acknowledged for it, you can get recognized for it. Do not be dissuaded. Do not be dissuaded, and don't lose hope in the help of Allah. Use everything within your arsenal to promote your work. Maximize the use of the social media: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, the rest of them, LinkedIn, all of them. You cannot not even underestimate the power of social media. The writers that came, that's come so far for this conference, immediately they are done. I quickly click, or I search for them on social media and I start following some of them now on Instagram. I'm sure some of them also have they have pages on Facebook. Some of them I already knew, that was following their pages. So, and everyone is out there promoting their work. So do the same thing. If you can't do it, if you feel like it's a bit technical for you, not all of us are tech savvy. Some people don't even know how to use the settings in all these social media apps. Ask for help, please. Promote your work. Talk to your own people. And because we are also considering the target as Muslim audience, talk to our people. Talk to our own people. Start from the sisters, your friends, the people within your community, our own tribe. The Ummah is our tribe. Speak up, tell them, and promote your work. And inspire others. Inspire others. Share. Don't hoard your knowledge. Share. You talk, you inspire people, you motivate, you counsel. The guidance that people like myself didn't have, I do that now. I give free counsel to young people, not necessarily about writing, anything they need, guidance for regarding their choice about life and things like that. Just be that person that sees the need and is already filling the void. Be that person. Uh, and consider writing as an extra opportunity. I said it earlier that writing is something that anyone could pick up. Can you imagine that we have an engineer, a speaker who was also an accountant, doubled an engineer who has, published a book? Anybody could write. That just goes to tell you that you don't have to be somebody who did English literature from high school and went on to university to study communications and whatever, or English language. No, anybody, because you can be trained for it. If it wasn't something that you developed on your own, that you picked up on your own, and even so, you still need to be polished. So if you're already in a field that is not about writing, and you have the flair, you have the gift, you have the passion for writing, it is something you can always do on the side. So consider it as an extra opportunity. um Yeah, was that the last of my? Oh, I'm done. Mashallah, I didn't know. You see, I could carry on. I didn't. I didn't realize that I already exhausted my points. And inshallah, I would tell Sister Afsa to please send this slide out. I know, like she's been doing with the rest of the speakers. I think that we'll find it useful. Inshallah. So, Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Jazakumullah khairan for
Ameen,
organizing this
ameen.
conference. But I can't see the chat. Okay.
Jazakillah khairan. You can see the chats.
Okay, I'm back in now. I can I see any? I don't think I can see any chat. I can see any chat. I can't see any chat. It's getting dark actually.
Oh,
Yeah, did you see? I told you it's going to be dark anytime soon,
yes,
so it's actually
you
dark
mentioned
now.
that.
Yeah. So can I see?
Jazakallah khairan for the presentation. But I resonated with everything. I can relate with everything that you've said. But what resonated most with me was when you said that we should write in whatever language that we feel comfortable in most. Wallahi, that is very, very true. If not for the colonization and all that, why we as Africans, we are very, very resilient. It's just
Yeah,
that we're
yeah,
being pushed
mashallah.
to the background.
Mm,
Normally, on a normal day, we're supposed to,
definitely.
when we introduce ourselves or when we talk about what we can do, we're supposed to even say we are multilingual people
Absolutely.
first and foremost. But it's
Absolutely.
because our own languages have been relegated to the background. Most times they don't even call them
Mm,
languages. They call them
y-
what they call. It's true. They say they are. They
correct,
don't say they don't call
correct.
them as languages. I'm like, it's a language that even has
Mm,
many dialects. Exactly. They'll say Yoruba is
absolutely.
a dialect. Yoruba is not a
Mm,
dialect. Yoruba is a
it's a
language
language on its
that
own. It's a
has
language on its own.
hundreds of dialects. You go to Ondo, they speak
Mhm.
different type of Yoruba there. You go to Ekiti, you
Sure,
go, and just
certainly.
as we have with other languages in Nigeria too.
Mm,
So if we were
absolutely,
taught,
absolutely. Mm,
if we were taught, and if we do most of these things in our own language, we'll be even smarter. I believe so.
absolutely,
I believe so.
absolutely.
So if
I concur. I concur with you. I mean, what made China great today?
mm,
What made
and
China great?
would even
That
be
is
able
it.
to would even be able to express ourselves more in our own language. The
To
problem
pass
is
the
this
message. Mm,
the problem is just this mental slavery. The real physical slavery has ended. Now mental slavery is a cause.
that's
Before, I am guilty of it too. I don't really know how to do the diatribes on the
Okay.
very
Oh
well.
yeah, I know.
But
I know.
I love
But it's not
Yoruba.
just you. But it's not just you. You see,
But
but
I
it's part
love
of the
what
things that we can.
regardless of that, I love my language. I love
Mashallah.
Yoruba. I'm not an
Mashallah.
advocate of not speaking the language with our children. I read
Mashallah.
Yoruba books. I may not be able to
Mashallah.
read their tribes, but I read Yoruba books. Àwọn Fagunwa, àwọn Ikori
Fagunwa. You see,
I
for, I didn't mention that. Do you know that my Yoruba is as fluent is I mean maybe even more because it's my mother tongue in any case. So
mm-hmm,
when I was in school, I would come in front of the class. I would read English, the Macmillan, the English book, and the same thing with the Alawiye. I was very
mm-hmm.
fluent both ways, and that's why I realized that I can continue in that trend. And today, Alhamdulillah, you write Yoruba, I'll put the tone. I'll put the tone, whichever one, and then give
Amen.
it in. Alhamdulillah, mashallah.
So we may even
So,
have writers that want to write. They may write the books. The problem is they may not get people to read them in
mm,
Yoruba because people are
eh,
like just pushing
mm,
Yoruba to the background, pushing these
background,
local
unfortunately,
languages to
the
the background.
languages,
Like no, if it's
our
not
indigenous
English, it's
languages,
not.
yeah,
If it's not English,
mm,
it's not good enough. It's not posh. So that
exactly.
may be the only challenge, and that may be the only reason why someone may write a book in Yoruba and decide to translate
Mm,
it, or write a book in her language and decide to translate it. But wallahi, we need these things. We really,
we
really,
do.
really need
We
these things.
do.
I am thinking of translating my books to Yoruba. I'm
Mashallah,
really thinking of
mashallah,
this. Serious. It's
mashallah. Tabarakallah. May Allah
if we
make it
continue,
easy.
if we continue like this, in the next 20,
Mm.
50 years, our
The
language may
language will
become
go into
extinct.
extinct. I'm telling
It
you,
may
it
become
will go
extinct,
into
and
extinct.
it's not
It
a
will
good
go into
thing.
extinct. It's not. It's not.
Not
So
a good
that's,
thing.
I mean, that's also part of the narrative we can change because it is a representation. It is our identity. So
Mm-hmm.
we can do that, especially for our mothers, the elderly who don't even want to hear anything about English. You want to tell them
Mm.
about the religion. Everything you bring to them is in English.
Is in
Why can't we
English,
do something for
exactly. Why
them?
can't it
Nobody is
be in?
catering for that. Nobody is catering for that sector. So we, inshallah, it's like I said, the awareness is here. We have moved from a
Hmm,
state of unconsciousness on
hmm.
lack of awareness. We are now in the stage of awareness. So we need to
Awareness,
just put the
yes.
word out there. We keep, re-echoing. We keep saying it. We keep
Hmm.
on telling people. So we can change the narrative. Inshallah, we
We
can change the
can, we
narrative.
can, we
Yeah,
can, and we will, inshallah.
it begins with us.
Yes, it does. It does. It begins with us, and inshallah,
Mm,
we'll make it. We can make it, inshallah. Now,
mm.
Jazakillah khairan for the uplifting talk. Wallah, it's no really. It's something that it's a pain in the, how do they say it? It's a pain in the foot. So it's a pain in
Mm.
the Kamadaruko, but
In the neck.
uh,
It's also a pain in the neck.
the
Maybe
pain
we
in
can
the
use the
neck.
neck.
Yes, but but wallah, it's something that it's disturbing, and
Mm,
wallah,
mm,
baby steps, inshallah. And that's what
sure.
now that's one of the reasons why we conceived this conference so that people can be
Contact,
inspired
mashallah.
at least do
Absolutely.
something. So at least do something.
Absolutely.
When you see people like Ajia Salma yesterday, or Ajia
Mm.
Bashiro, or all the other
Mm.
speakers that have come
That was,
that have come around, that have spoken, you can feel inspired and want to do something, want to start writing.
I'm
And
telling you, it's been quite an eye-opening, enlightening, motivating, inspiring, all around. Every speaker had something unique to say. And then
hmm,
at the end of the day, you'll see that we all had something that we all said that
you
we had in common, that all
yes,
of us, so
that
it's
is
still the
it.
same goal. It's
It's
still the
one
same
goal.
goal.
Yes,
It's
that's
one
it. That's
goal.
what's it. It's one goal, because that is what really, that is really what we really want deep down. I don't think there's anybody here or anybody that registered that doesn't have that goal ingrained in our heart. I don't think
Yes,
because
yes.
if you don't even have it in your heart, you won't have registered for the conference.
Exactly.
You won't have
Exactly. So
registered for the conference.
alhamdulillah. So I also
Alhamdulillah.
applaud you. I applaud you. May Allah continue to endow you in sound and useful knowledge. May Allah reward you.
Amen.
This is an act of ibadah. May Allah accept it from you and from us,
Amen.
and forgive us
Amen.
wherever we might have heard, as humans.
Amen.
This is a
Amen.
laudable concept. This is a laudable concept,
Yeah.
and that's why for me, I mean, you deserve all the support. You deserve all the support. All
Amen.
of us can give. Mashallah. Jazakumullah khairan for creating this
Jazakallah
platform for
khairan.
us.
Naam, Jazakumullah khairan for accepting the invite. Can you see the chat? Can you see the chat?
Now I can see. I can see Sister Halima. Sister Halima Ahmad. She said, yeah, she said the new generation of parents don't like speaking the dialect to their kids. Absolutely, you're correct. Very correct. I was just telling someone just yesterday that she was saying that the son was speaking in Yoruba. Like, I know it was so fun. I was like, no. I said, look, if you're still thinking that if you don't speak English to your child at home, they wouldn't be able to speak it, you are wrong. That is a huge mistake. And I said, if that were the case for someone like me, I shouldn't even have been able to
speak.
Yeah. I lived in Ajegule first. I was in Ajegule. Pidgin English was the language I started speaking first. I went to a local school. I grew up in Shomolu, in Lagos. I didn't go to private school. Nobody was speaking English in my home. We are speaking Yoruba. Alhamdulillah. I'm nowhere near perfect, but here I am today. So it is a misconception. That is part of the things that we need to change. It is a wrong thinking. It is a wrong thinking.
People that even prefer English, right? The scientists that they really like have even proven, it's true, they've proven that if children learn their mother tongue first, they will be able to speak any other language, and in this, and English in particular, now they'll be able to speak it fluently. So learn your mother tongue first. Look at Sister Sister Rohima. She said Hausa is, of course, Hausa is flying across everywhere. Before BBC Yoruba started, we had BBC Hausa for years, and BBC Hausa has been around for so long. Because they speak their language. They don't take it as any joking.
They didn't bring themselves down, they didn't subdue themselves. They didn't relegate themselves to the background. We are the ones with the mentality and the inferiority complex. We impose these ideas on ourselves. It is our own doing, so we have to undo it, because nobody is forcing you to speak English like a Briton or an American. You are in Nigeria. You understand?
You will have the accent. The accent is, I cannot apologize for my Yoruba accent. If I have a Yoruba accent, I won't apologize for it, because I'm Yoruba. An American will not apologize for their whether it's a Texan accent or whatever. Everybody has their own accent.
So, yeah, you're right. Sister Rahima says that it totally depends on us, the parents, to bring back the art of speaking our dialect at home. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. And I'm doing that. I speak Yoruba to my children. Though, the problem is it's just us. Because we are away from home, there isn't anybody here that will speak it to them. It's just us. When they go to school and they come back home, so we try to find the balance. So I try as much as possible. And even the same thing with my husband, we communicate to my children in Yoruba. At least, most of the things they will understand, even if they can't respond fluently, but they can respond. So they absolutely understand. They understand very well. Very well. They do understand. Because we always tell them that don't forget that that's where you are from. You can't be bragging about being fluent, speaking in a foreign language and not being able to speak your own mother tongue. You are losing your identity.
Look at what Sister Rahima says. She said, I speak Yoruba. Can you see it? I speak Yoruba to my kids at home, while their father wouldn't want to speak his own.
Oh, it's Aido. Mashallah. I didn't know yours was from Aido. Okay. Wow. No, at least you're finding a balance there. Perhaps sometimes they say when children learn too many languages, they get confused. I don't think so. Their young minds can grasp anything. So whatever you want them to learn, start young, catch them young. You start from very early age. They can grasp. They can.
That's right. Yes.
So at
Children
least
learn languages easily. They can
they learn
speak
it
at least 5 languages before the age of, I think it's before the age of 5 or before the age
5
of
or
7, I
7,
think.
7,
It's
yes,
7,
yes.
yes, they can speak.
Mm.
So
So
it's, may Allah make it easy for us. May Allah make it easy for us.
yeah, Allah.
In fact, personally,
Where's my sister?
your
I'm sorry,
hype
I'm
sister, she's here. She said, look at her, look at her comments.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wa auntie for Jazakillah khairan. Thank you, mashallah. Thank you.
In fact, I love things Yoruba. I could say, I can see an Islamic fiction, a book for kids, Islamic fiction written in Yoruba or maybe any other language, any other like Nigerian language. I
It
really
will be
wish to see it. Inshallah, it
to
would be.
it will be a milestone in terms of if we could do that. I'm telling you, it's going to be, we would have covered a lot if we are able to achieve that, because we don't have it. It's a huge vacuum now. It's a huge vacuum. We don't have it. For children, our own children, to be able to hold a book in their hands, seeing it so colorful and being interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Being by us, telling our own stories. How fascinating that would be. May Allah make it for us.
Amen, 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 amen. We have some new comments. She said, she said, I can write Yoruba, but I cannot. I'm not very good at the diatribes. That's the problem. That's the problem I have. Sister Bilkis, she knows very well. I can't. It's a problem for me. I'm trying to learn it. I
Alhamdulillah.
want to learn it. I want to teach my children. I want to, because I speak
Oh,
Yoruba to them as well. I speak Yoruba to my kids as well. I speak Yoruba to
I
them.
think
And
yeah, mashallah, that's good. I think it's when it gets to the reading aspect that's where the problem comes in, because we are saying it's just a word. You can say wa means come, but when it comes to reading, a child can see owo or wa and call it owo because
oh,
they don't know the difference. They can
mm,
see ogun as in 20 and say ogun medicine. Because
yes,
so that's where
yes.
the problem is. When you want to know if you can actually read Yoruba, is when you start reading, to trying to find the meaning of the
It's
word.
the
That is
context. It's the context that helps. When I
helps.
read Fagunwa's books, Igbo Irunmole and Igbo Olodumare and all that, I read them
Which
completely, and some other Yoruba
okay,
books, but it was the context that helped me. That helped me a lot,
mashallah.
and I found it very, very interesting. I really, really loved when I see someone speaking Yoruba without adding any atom of English. Wallahi, I'm always wowed.
I know. I enjoy it also, but we all, we can always learn more. I'm not perfect, but in fact, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I can stand people back home now. I don't know, because there's rarely anybody to have a deep conversation in Yoruba with here, and we are always, mixing it with English, things like that. But we can always learn. We learn just baby steps, baby steps. We
Baby
learn.
steps.
Emma says I can read too, even if slowly. I did Yoruba in primary school only. The rest is
The
in
rest
Hausa.
is
Oh,
Hausa. So you are fluent in
I'm coming for
Hausa.
Hausa lessons. Are you fluent in Hausa? I'm part Hausa, by the way. I'm coming for Hausa lessons,
Can you
inshallah.
imagine? That's where Yoruba is unique. Yes, Yoruba is a unique language. Sometimes when I think, I go like, Subhanallah, Yoruba is really unique. Why are we like not proud of this language? It is complete.
Shame,
It is sometimes you think of when you want to translate something from maybe Yoruba to English.
mm,
Sometimes you don't have the words in English language.
exactly.
Sometimes it
You can't.
lacks some words.
I agree with you. It
Sometimes,
happens.
and Yoruba is so complete, so many different tones, so many different. Voila,
Or
alhamdulillah.
indirect, when you want to pass a message and you don't want the third person or the person
To
knowing what you want to say in the message, you can always, like we do the verbs, the proverbs. Owe,
hmm, Ogwe, in fact.
Things like that. So may Allah make it easy for us. So
I
like I said,
mean,
the awareness is here now. So
yes.
start the work. We should start it.
Inshallah. Inshallah. The so Mrs. Rahima, we'll continue this conversation because I see you said you're interested. Don't worry, inshallah. We'll have to end the broadcast. See, we'll have to end the broadcast now because we have another session by 5:30. Salam Mariam says she speaks Yoruba fluently and I'm also good at writing. Mashallah, barakallahu fiqh. Barakallahu fiqh. So please consider writing a book in Yoruba, inshallah. Inshallah, which will be translated to other languages. Inshallah. May Allah make it easy. So we're going to end the broadcast now, and so that we can prepare for the next speaker who will be coming in by 5:30, inshallah. So Jazakumullahu khairan to the speaker and to everybody that is here and contributing and has been here all day. Jazakumullahu khairan. Sarohima, Saro Mariam, Sahalima, Zainab, Sulaiman, everybody in the chats. Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you by 5:30 for the penultimate presentation. We are coming to an end. Subhanallah, how time flies. We're coming to an end. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.